Hey guys, Horror Bengals fan here once again, back here with another movie review this time. And I did this review last night, but I was just kind of like all over the place on it because it's hard to compare and contrast and talk about two movies at once and then trying to get to in so much time. It's a hard thing to do, so I just thought about just doing a quick talk about of the original movie, but mainly talk about the remake on this one for a quick little movie review again, and that is the remake of George A. Romero's classic film from 1968, Night of the Living Dead. And here is the underrated but yet very good remake of George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Now, I'm going to do a quick talk about the 1968 film a little bit while I'm doing this review. The first original Night of the Living Dead I saw a long time ago when I was about 3 years old on TV. It was a VHS. That was a horror movie hosted by a horror host in Indiana, the Indianapolis market, which I have a picture of him. I have some autographs of him somewhere where I've met him a few times, the original one, not the son, and that is of Sammy Terry. Sammy Terry used to be a horror host on a local TV station in Indianapolis called Channel 4 WTTV. And I remember watching him with my family on VHS in a dark room. And I remember the remake, it is a remake, the original, creeped me out. I mean, there's some scenes like, "They're coming to get you, Barbara." I think in the 68 version and the 1990 version, they're both done differently. I think the 68 version is a little creepy, but the 1990 I think is more of like a realistic kind of approach than what the 68 version was. But when Sammy Terry hosted this, you can find the hosting bits from, if you type in Sammy Terry hosts Night of the Living Dead, and it'll say the year 1999. And the original, I remember that, and I remember Sammy Terry talking, and he would go, But what else I can say? But yeah, Sammy Terry rules. And the Night of the Living Dead, the original, since I talked about Sammy Terry for a bit now, it's a very good movie. I think it is an effective film and influenced a whole subgenre in the horror community. Without it, we wouldn't have a zombie genre. We wouldn't have all of the rip-offs and The Walking Dead, World War Z. We wouldn't have all of these zombie movies that we've had over and over and over. And also, it was the first horror film to have an African-American as a lead, played by the late Dwayne Jones, which the main character is strong. He's probably the strongest character and the best character out of the original film. And the Harry Cooper character is an interesting character because he's kind of like a conspiracy theorist, but a conspiracy theorist that is actually, he is right on what's going on. And the whole stuff going back and forth, the radio and the TV, what all is going, it's creepy. One of the biggest flaws of the film, though, which from what I've heard with the original movie, is the ending. Which, yeah, the ending is the biggest downfall, but it's a very dark film, and from what I've read, Dwayne Jones did not want the happy ending for Ben. He wanted a darker ending. He wanted to have that effect on people. And my thoughts on that before I get to the remake, since I'm now 4 minutes in, but that's okay. I'll say 1968 Night of the Living Dead, 1968 Night of the Living Dead original, which everybody has seen since it's on public domain. It's a very solid film. Am I going to rate anything? That's hard to do. It's a classic. I'll give it out of 10, 7 out of 10. But after this, many years later, after Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead came out, 1990, they released the Night of the Living Dead remake directed by Tom Savini, in which Tom Savini was originally supposed to be attached with the film, but Vietnam and just all kinds of stuff going on. I'll say this to anybody watching this video, after rewatching the original again and the remake again, the remake is better than the original. This is one of the few horror remakes that stands out. And it's a shame that this film didn't do well at the box office, has not had a good physical media release. This DVD has like a featurette, a commentary, Savini, and like 2 movie theatrical trailers. That's it. And it had a crappy received Blu-ray from Twilight Time that was out of print, and it just didn't do well at all. And overall, the film, what do I like about the 1990 Night of the Living Dead? Well, I'll give my list of why I like this movie. 1, I think the characters are a lot more stronger in this one than the original film. Where I'd say the original, the best and strongest character was probably Ben out of everybody. And in this one here, they have made the characters, I think, a lot more stronger, likable. Like Barbara, which in the original, she's just in shock the whole time. Platonic, basically. She's out of it. And in this one here, she is in fear for a little bit, and she's like, I'm not afraid anymore. I want to fight. And she's a badass. She played by Patricia Tallman. She does a great job as Barbara. The script by George Romero wrote for her. She does a great job. I think she was a great female lead. Tony Todd, while Dwayne Jones is very talented, I think Tony Todd did also a great job. The characters of like the Tom and Judy character, I think, were done a little better. Just overall, the human characters were done better, and they still do have the zombie look where they're saying, okay, we're not going to call them zombies. We just call them, just dead things. We don't know exactly what they are. And I think this one does a better look and take on the zombies than the other one did. The makeup designs look creepy. They look a little more real. Like they just look like they just came back from the dead. Like literally they just came from like the grave. They look very well done. They still hold up today, 32 years later. That's how awesome practical effects are. And Bill Moseley does a good job as Johnny. And I mean, if anybody's not seen this film, what the hell are you doing? If you've not seen this movie, you live under a fucking rock. You ain't a horror fan if you ain't seen the 1990 Night of the Living Dead remake. The DVD for this isn't the best, but the movie overall is damn good. Hopefully one day Scream Factory or Vinegar Syndrome puts a more featured Blu-ray, get some of Patricia Tallman maybe, Bill Moseley when he's not at a damn horror convention, maybe we'll have him talk. Savini, which I don't know if Savini's a fan of working on this movie. I think mainly because the MPA had some stuff cut out, but for the gore in this film, it looks pretty good. The zombies look good. Like I said, I like the cast in the film. I like the plot a little better. The pacing's a lot better in this one than the original. The original is a slower burn horror film, and I think that's what makes that film work. But the pacing on here is good, and definitely with making Ben a zombie in this one's pretty good, especially right before he turns. I kind of like his way, where he just goes pretty much just insane, and near the end, and just overall, I'll probably watch this one again. I give this one probably 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Damn good movie, very underrated. Check it out. Horror Bengals fan says peace.